Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we're going to take a look at the 2023 Cadillac Escalade Premium Luxury 4-wheel drive. Huge shout out to Randy Marion GMC for providing this vehicle for me today. Definitely take a look at their website. That link is in the description. This Cadillac is finished off in Black Raven. They have a starting MSRP right around $96,000, and powering the Escalade is a 6.2 liter V8 paired to the 10-speed automatic transmission. This pumps out 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque, sent through that all-wheel drive system. This 5,800-pound SUV will go from 0 to 60 in 5.8 seconds. Top speed is 121. This also has a fuel capacity of 24 gallons. You'll expect to see around 14 miles per gallon in the city, 19 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 120.9 inches. Its overall length is 211.9. It has a width of 81.1, a height of 76.7, and its ground clearance measures in at 8 inches. As we move on to the exterior styling now for this Escalade, let's start off with the massive Cadillac badge front and center. There's an integrated forward-facing camera just underneath that, and then a very similar design for all of the chrome or the brush trim accents running throughout this grille. They even come to a small V-point, just like the badge itself. Now, Cadillacs also have a distinctive line that runs right down the middle of the hood, through the middle of the badge, through the middle of the lower section of the bumper. This has LEDs up front for the headlight housings, even the DRLs and the turn signals, which are in that vertical design. There's parking sensors in the lower section, and then some more of the brush trim and a little bit of gloss black. There's even more of that brush trim that surrounds both the lower and the upper section of that grille, and then some more indentions and lines running down the hood. Gives it a fantastic front end appearance. Definitely a large grille for this large SUV. Now, this has a set of 22-inch wheels with that multi-spoke design to them. We have the body colored power folding side mirrors with the turn signal camera system and even a light up underneath. This has a full panoramic sunroof, more of that brush trim surrounding the lower section of the windows, as well as the lower section of the door. It gets a set of fixed running boards, and then the two-tone design for these door handles. There's also the ambient lighting strip running right across the top, so at nighttime you can see it, and the door handles are actually fixed to the body. So there's a lever on the inside that you simply pull on in order to open up the door, so that does not separate. Really cool design that's incorporated in a lot of the Cadillac models. And we have a great side design for this Escalade. Body colored spoiler up top with the third brake light and the wiper blade, so that way it is nicely hidden out of the way. More of that trim running right through the power liftgate. This has a massive set of LED taillights. These are probably 2 feet in length from the top all the way to the lower section. Backup camera with all the parking sensors. The dual exhaust is on both sides. This can even tow right around 7,500 pounds, and it does have remote start. So let's fire this up. And it will quickly come to life. If you hold on that button, that is how you can shut the vehicle off. And then there's actually 2 liftgate buttons on the key fob. We have one for the liftgate itself and one for the glass. So you can open up the glass individually. If you don't use the key fob, there's a button over on this passenger side that will release it. And then from there, if you have any smaller items to place in, you don't have to worry about opening up the entire liftgate. Really cool to see that. And then in order to open up the liftgate itself, simply just push on the Cadillac emblem, which is really cool. So there are no visuals for that release. Gives it a cleaner rear end appearance. Now, this is a 3-row vehicle. Look at the amount of space that is behind that 3rd row when it is up. There's even a little bit of space underneath if you want to place some more items. We have the AKG audio sound system, and then the controls for these seats. Now, the 3rd row is automatic, so just by pushing on those, the headrest will fold. You do have to have that 2nd seat in the correct position. So that one didn't quite make it. Oh, we have there we go, almost made it. But you have a lot of space for the back here if you don't have anyone in that 3rd row. Now, for the 2nd row, if you double tap on these buttons, they will quickly fold down. They are manual to pop back up. However, the 3rd row, you can just push on these buttons and they will come back up. And it does it very quickly, which is nice to see. There's also a 3-prong outlet over on that side too, And then up top, just push on that button for the power liftgate to close. Now as we work our way to the back seating area, beautiful interior with this tan leather. There's wood trim, some brush trim just above that. It's on the release handle, and a little bit of storage space is located down below. And then looking at this second row seat, I can quickly fold it back up and lock it into place. This is all manual, so we have adjustments to move it forwards and backwards, as well as to fold it flat. If I pull on this lever twice, we can get it into this position, and if I do that again, it will pop up. So now at 5'10", I can work my way into the third row, where it's very spacious. There's an armrest with some storage, even a USB-C, air vents up top. We don't have a middle seat in that second row, so you have even more footroom there, as well as on both sides. And at 5'10", I have 2 or 3 inches actually above my head. So very comfortable to be in the back. I could definitely have 2 other people in the back with me and make it work if I really needed to. I could maybe go on a small road trip. Definitely very spacious and a lot of glass, so it doesn't feel claustrophobic in that back seat. Now you can also pull on this tab from the third row if you need to use that to flip this seat up. And from there, with that fixed running board and this grab handle, we can hop into this, move the seat back, and we have a really nice captain's chair. There's storage pockets, as well as all the climate adjustments, and then even cup holders that will pop out, and a few auxiliaries down below. Now this also has heated seats, which is really cool, and then that LCD screen to go through the rest of that. And then as far as headroom goes, I have around 2 or 3 inches above my head, so it's just as comfortable as those back seats, just a little bit more though with that armrest. And then one button that I did forget to mention is this power button right here. So if you push on that, it will actually do the same thing to fold it down and then bring it back up from that back seat. So you can push on that, or you can just pull on that lever. Either way, really easy to get in and out. Now for the front door panel, this has the heated and cooled seat options on the door panel itself. Lock and unlock, all the side mirror adjustments, even memory seating adjustments too, and plenty of storage in that lower section. And then the V badge is right in the middle. We have the very nice design for these automatic front seats. And hopping up into this now, steering wheel is solid leather. On the left side, there's the heated control along with the cruise and distance pacing, voice commands. On the right side, there's volume as well as tuning, and then a few other controls to go through the gauge cluster. So let's fire this up. We have the massive, almost one continuous screen. There is the separated gauge cluster, and then we have some info on both sides, of course. So if we come back to the gauge cluster, on the left side, there's some vitals that you can see along with the RPM. Miles per hour is right in the middle, and then radio is on that right side along with the fuel level. Now I can scroll through audio by using the rotary dial on this left side, and that is pretty much all that you get for the right side of that screen in order to go through that. This also has steering wheel mounted paddle shifters too. And then on the left side, this is how you can go through a little bit more. So currently we can look at the trip information, so trip 1, trip 2, and then there is a blank page 2. If I push on this next one, now we can go to the map for the gauge cluster. So that can be brought up in full screen, or you can go back to those gauges. There's also the augmented reality camera system that you can pull up. So this will monitor anything in front of you really. You can use this at nighttime, which is probably a little bit better, a little redundant during the day when you can clearly see, but at nighttime, it will give you a little bit more visibility, which is nice. And then you can quickly go back to the gauges. And the last one is the head-up display, so you can adjust those as needed. So for the size of the digital gauge cluster, not that configurable, but it's nice that you can adjust a few things on that left side. Now down below, there's the e-brake along with the 4-wheel drive selectors. There's even a mode button for the different driving modes, so you can put those into the corresponding mode that you are doing for the day. Head-up display just shows the miles per hour. And then right in the middle for the infotainment system, if we go through this on the left side, these are all fixed. So you can quickly get into your home to go into navigation, phone. You also have Spotify, some other apps, the ambient lighting, even the camera system and a video recorder. And then all the way to the split view gives you music, phone, nav, and then your parking assist, which is cool. There's also shortcuts to all of that information on this left side, so you can quickly get into it and pull it up as needed. The last one is some vehicle information that you can go through just to monitor all of these stats and info. So it's really nice to quickly be able to get all of that. Easy system to go through. There's wood trim underneath that with one air vent, and then we have all of these dials for the climate. So fan speed, temperature, where you'd like the air to go, even recirc and sync. And then there's two auxiliaries with a little bit of storage in front of two cup holders. You can hide those away as needed. In front of the shifter, there's the auto hold, the engine start stop, and lane keeping assist. And then with this in reverse, this is the backup camera with the top down view. And there are a lot of different angles just depending on what you would like to see. You even have the overhead 360 to give you all of this extra visibility. We can pull up the forward facing camera with the same angles that you saw for the rear. So no shortage of visibility. There's even a trailering one right here, so when you have a trailer hooked up, that will be lit up, of course. You have drive and a low range gear, and then park is on the top. Now you don't have to use this as a touchscreen system. So you can use the scrolling dial down below. You can get into your navigation, go home, you have your music and phone, along with the volume for the radio, which is nice. Hazards are behind that with a small area you could place your phone right there. And then for the center armrest, even more auxiliaries with plenty of room for all the info. And then the glove box has an ample amount of space for that additional info. Now up top, there's a lot of controls. There's the garage door buttons. You can also fold down the third row and put it back up, adjust how you want that power liftgate to open up. We have the sunroof and sunshade adjustments with some OnStar controls, even the digital rear view mirror. So that is currently our rear facing visibility, and now we have a lot more visibility with that camera system. It's a long vehicle, so that definitely helps in your visibility around the entire vehicle. Well, let's go ahead and get this Escalade out on the road. As we set off now behind the wheel for this nearly $100,000 Cadillac Escalade, this is a very, very nice vehicle for the money. For everything that you've already seen in today's video, there's a lot to go over with a lot of functions and features. If you're looking for that luxury side, getting a Cadillac model. Cadillac has always been known for having luxury models that just have a clean and elegant design to them, and that is what you are getting with this Cadillac Escalade. It drives so smooth as well. It is very quiet and comfortable, and as far as power goes for this, from that V8 engine, nothing too crazy today, but we're up to speed. It has that good V8 note, so if you are looking for an SUV with a V8, just get this Cadillac Escalade. So it's incredibly nice. I love how quiet this really is to drive. It is so surreal to be on the interior. I've put a few miles on it, and it's very, very nice. It handles well too for its weight. I wasn't going fast around that turn, of course, but it handles well. It's easy to drive. It is a tall vehicle, but if you're in the market for something that can haul this amount of people and tow as well, you would get used to driving it. It's not that hard to drive. It's just obviously bigger than some other SUVs. But yeah, it's very nice. You're so high up behind this wheel, and you can hear that V8. I think that's a perk to the Escalade, is having that V8 engine. May not be the best on MPG, but if you're that V8 kind of person, it definitely sounds good. And from second gear, here we go. And just a slight acceleration, we are up to speed for this pretty much six-figure Cadillac Escalade. Here's a look at what it's like to be behind the wheel. It has a very nice luxury vibe to it on the interior. As far as the position of the screen, the materials used, how everything is configured for the ergonomics, it's definitely a nice layout. Even having the seat adjustments on this left side here. And we'll give it another acceleration. definitely sounds good too. So like I said, it's very comfortable and quiet. It's a good place to be. You can tell the refinements of this being a Cadillac, but you can tell with the suspension, it is floating over all of these bumps. Very smooth to drive. But that is going to wrap it up for the 2023 Cadillac Escalade Premium Luxury 4-wheel drive. Once again, a huge shout out to Randy Marion GMC for providing this for me today. Check out their website, give this video a huge thumbs up, and smash that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.